Hi, I'm Tarah Runco. Welcome to Chefin' It, a cooking series where I'm inviting Colorado's best chefs to teach us how to bring a taste of their restaurant into your home kitchen. Today, we're meeting with my good friend, Chris Royster, co-owner and executive chef of Flagstaff House in Boulder, Colorado, where they offer breathtaking views, a highly acclaimed wine cellar, and exceptional, seasonally driven cuisine for an unparalleled fine dining experience. Today, Chef Chris will be sharing one of his signature venison dishes. Everything that Chef Chris creates is absolutely stunning. I can't wait for you to meet him.
Hi, Tara.
Hi, Chef Chris.
Welcome to Flagstaff House.
Thank you so much for having me. Oh my God, this looks amazing. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
We're gonna have my springtime venison dish. The loin that you'll see there, it's marinated with something really bright, a little lemon zest, some thyme and black pepper. And then we're gonna serve that with some spring onions, mushrooms, some peas, and then the little terrine, that is our braised venison shank that we actually shred, make a ragu out of, and then bread it and quickly fry it.
Can you share the inspiration behind this dish?
I love to cook, and a lot of times I'll experiment with little things at home, and I'll just redevise the entire dish to be something that we'll see here on our table at Flagstaff House.
So what are the differences that we're going to see between this dish and the dish we're going to make in my home kitchen?
Yeah, so this is a cassoulet style dish that we're gonna be making at home, just a little bit more broken out across our plate or deconstructed in a way. So this little terrine that we see here, that's gonna be more of the entire dish.
This looks like an absolutely beautiful piece of art on a plate.
Enjoy.
There's this brightness to it.
That's really the goal. I wanted to make it a light and bright venison dish, and I feel like we don't see those on menus very often.
I am so excited about how we translate this into something that I can make in my home kitchen. So cheers.
Cheers.
See you again soon.
Thanks for coming in.
Chef Chris, I want to welcome you to my home kitchen here. What are we creating today?
Yeah, so we're gonna take that same venison dish that we had at the restaurant. Today we're gonna focus on the braising portion of that because I think it's so delicious. And we're gonna do some ossobuco. We're gonna have all these lovely veggies. We're still gonna focus with some peas and some lemon to brighten it up and make a kind of like a cassoulet.
Chef, what is a cassoulet?
A cassoulet is a French stew that's really based around beans. That's kind of where some of the inspiration for the dish at the restaurant came from. Today we're gonna make it more like a classic French stew with some white beans and English peas as well.
That sounds amazing. I can't wait to get started.
Yeah, let's cook. First step, mise en place.
Let's do it.
We're gonna cut mirepoix first. Mirepoix, onion, carrot, celery. That's what we have right here. Let's start with our onions. Just take the top and the bottom off of your onion. And we're gonna cut straight down. Now we got to go and peel our outer layer back. This core here, we want to pop that core out. Cut through and leave a space on the backside of your onion.
Like just like this?
Yep.
I'm a pro.
You are a pro. And then next, we're gonna come through on the side and then slice my onion back in the middle layer, but I'm never gonna go all the way through my onion. To cut towards myself and do it a little bit safer, my hand's always on top of my onion. And then also, as you see, I'm actually cutting sideways here. I'm not cutting towards myself or my hand. To actually get our dice, we're gonna come through from the top straight down, so that way it falls down onto our cutting board.
And then what do you do with this?
This goes into our scrap pile. This is what we're gonna use to flavor our broth. Should we race?
Let's do carrot.
Carrots. Okay, so we gotta peel a carrot, right?
Yep.
And then we're gonna take the top off, and then we're gonna take the very bottom off. So we can kind of go into thirds. We're just gonna kind of cut it down into planks to your bâtonnet, into your dice. Utilizing the skills of a knife cut can take something like a broth or a braise or a stew and really elevate the way that it looks on the plate by having those really clean, crisp edges of a dice. But if I'm just doing this at home real quick, I might just do it just like here and just quarter my carrot and cut them down into wedges like so. And I have a similar shape, right? It's similar size, it's just a lot easier. But this is gonna look beautiful in our stew.
Yeah,
You're gonna know which ones I've done and which ones you've done.
Now we're gonna go through and dice celery as well and cut the leaves away. The leaves have a lot of flavor and it's kind of a fun garnish, so we're gonna save it for later on. So we're not gonna get rid of that. And then we're gonna cut it down and we're gonna square off the bottom. I'm gonna come to the other side and do the same thing. And I'm gonna work it down, take the outside pieces, to square it, come down for my cut, and then I'll have more of my dice size.
How do you manage food waste in your kitchen?
Yeah, so in the kitchen, we save all those scraps because we make all of our own broths, stocks, we make soups and such like that. And all of these veggies can be used in there somehow. So we don't throw anything out, we utilize it in some way. Now we're gonna cut the mushrooms. And these are king trumpet mushrooms. We're gonna cut that off. So we're gonna take the top off, the cap. We'll just kind of square it off. We're gonna go same size that we've been going, so that way they're really even and they're gonna cook down evenly. So next, garlic. We're gonna mince the garlic. Last thing that we're gonna be cutting here is some bacon. So this is a slab bacon. It's gonna allow us to cut a thicker piece. And what we're gonna be doing is cutting a lardon from this. There's plenty of places in the area that you can get slab bacon from. Edwards Meats has slab bacon available. They're a full service butcher shop, so you can go there, they have fresh bacon and they'll just cut it to the ounce that you want. So we've got our vegetables cut, we've got our bacon ready to go, we've got our ossobuco, and at this point, it's time to actually turn some flames on.
Let's do it.
Flame on.
Flame on.
So we're gonna start with the bacon, we're gonna add it into our hot pan, and we're gonna let it start rendering. We're gonna render that bacon down, get it kind of crispy. I'm gonna season the venison. You wanna season really liberally, especially with salt right away. A lot of the salt is going to kind of pull off into the sauce, and it's not necessarily gonna be on the meat itself. We're gonna get our bacon out of our pan while leaving all of that fat behind. We're gonna reserve that for later. So from here, start adding our ossobuco. And I'm gonna let it settle in there and kind of just do its thing. What we're gonna see here is some nice, good, deep caramelization. So at this point, we're gonna pull this out. We're gonna add our flavor vegetables that we put to the side. All of the scraps. This is what we're gonna use here as the base mirepoix for cooking our shanks. And as you see here, as we're cooking, all that fond, that caramelization on the bottom of the pan, it's starting to come off into the vegetables right now. We've gotten some good caramelization here. Wine time.
Wine time. I have you covered.
I'll go ahead and give it a couple of glugs there. Yeah. We're gonna be using some stock that I made myself. And I do that at home myself as well. And of course we do it at the restaurant. You can use a store-bought stock. That'll work just fine for this. Utilizing the extra veggies the way that we are is gonna allow us to really intensify the flavor of the stock that you buy at the store as a prepackaged item. So if you wanna pop the ossobuco back in the pan, with the ossobuco, you wanna make sure that our nice bone presentation is faced up. We're gonna add a little bit more stock to bring our level up. Now we're at a simmer. We're gonna crank the heat down just a little bit while we add our herbs. We got some thyme, rosemary, and sage. Then our lid goes on and into the oven.
So what are we doing now?
Yeah, well, now that the braise is in the oven, we find ourselves with a little bit of extra time. So at this point, we're gonna do the most tedious project of all, and that's shuck peas.
Oh, I am so excited.
Take this. Yes, you pop it open. Just run your thumb down there. Boom. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Get it?
So you are big into foraging and hunting and fishing. You grew up doing all those things, right?
Yeah, I did. You know, hunting and fishing was a big part of my family growing up. So that's really what I spend my time doing. Moving out here, I learned a lot about mushroom foraging. I always heard, oh, don't ever touch the mushrooms, you're gonna die, that kind of a thing, which is...
Can be true.
It can be true, but it's not exclusively true, right? There are a lot of really good tasty things that you can find in the woods. So that's been a newfound love of mine. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all of our garnish vegetables, if you will, and we're gonna start cooking those down to get ready to finish our sauce. The ossobuco is just about done. We can finish everything else.
Before we do that.
Oh yes, bacon snacks, you have to have. All right. Awesome.
God, that's gorgeous.
In a separate saucepan, we're gonna start cooking down the rest of our vegetables to finish the stew. We're gonna use some olive oil here. We're gonna add our mushrooms. We're gonna start to brown those.
Do you ever use any of the mushrooms that you forage at the restaurant?
A lot of the mushrooms that I forage has to go through an inspection process to make sure that they are a safe mushroom to eat in a restaurant. So we use some certified people who forage for us. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add all of our mirepoix in, but we're not gonna add the garlic yet. We're gonna hit that with a decent pinch of salt, let it pull some of the moisture out as it's stewing down. Okay, so now that our vegetables are cooked down, we're gonna add our garlic in, let that saute. We're gonna start by adding about half of that butter here. And then we're gonna build a roux to make our sauce. At the restaurant, what we do is we take all the time to slowly reduce everything down where we get this really beautiful, intense flavor, but that takes hours and hours and hours. The roux is a great way to be able to get the same texture that we want out of our sauce without having to spend, 6 to 8 hours to reduce our sauce down. We're gonna add our dried spices. We're gonna add the dried oregano, thyme, basil, got a little bit of crushed red pepper.
This is smelling so good. The herbs are really earthy.
And now we're gonna add our tomato paste. Add about half of this jar. But this is something that you don't really wanna walk away from. It will burn quickly. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add flour. So if you wanna grab the flour, we're gonna start sprinkling some in. I am definitely gonna drop our flame down. Flour burns so fast under direct heat. So what we're gonna do is lightly cook this. So we have a blonde roux, which is just kind of brought together. We're gonna get the ossobuco out. Now let's grab the strainer. We'll put it right over the pot. What we're gonna do is bring that up to a boil, right, and drop it down to a low simmer, and we're gonna let it cook for about 20 to 30 minutes at least. And this is gonna allow it to fully thicken, our sauce is gonna reduce, but it's also gonna allow the flour to cook out. Now what we're gonna do is start adding our beans, and we're start to really build the cassoulet out of this. We use cannellini beans for this. You can use a Great Northern bean. Really any sort of white bean is traditional to a cassoulet. We're gonna add that bacon back in now.
Our lardons.
The lardon. To season, we're gonna use salt and pepper, and we're also gonna use a little bit of Worcestershire. That's just gonna bring a lot of umami to this.
So is that the proper way of saying this? Worcestershire?
Worcestershire. I think it just depends on where you come from, right? If you want to hit it with salt, we're gonna add some more fresh cracked pepper. What we're gonna do is add some English peas in. All the fun that we had shucking these.
We had so much fun.
So much fun. And then we're gonna add our ossobuco. We're gonna finish it with a little bit of lemon zest. It's gonna bring something really bright, but not really acidity. We're gonna get kind of the sweet flavor of the lemon through this.
All right, chef, I think we're moving into the plating portion of the dish.
Yeah, everything's finished cooking, so we're just gonna get our bread, our garnish, and get everything on the plate.
Let's do it.
What we're gonna do is pick off individual leaves to use for the garnish itself.
Just kind of bundles like this.
Yeah, that's perfect. We're gonna grab our stew, ladle it down, right in the center, let it fill out,
This smells so good.
and then we'll put the ossobuco on top. Got our garnish, and what we're gonna do is put it right out of the bone marrow. So it's nice and tender now. Tara, why don't you do one?
Oh no.
You gotta get it to the finish
You
line.
have trusted me to do this.
Absolutely. Perfect.
Now, I feel like when I've seen ossobuco in the past, rosemary has been used.
Yeah, it's a pretty classic garnish for this, but I'd like to save the celery leaves because we're already using so much celery here, and we might as well use it if we have the celery.
So what is the finishing touch here?
Good bread with a stew is pretty important in my opinion. So we're gonna cut some fresh bread so that way we can soak up all the extra sauce. And then what we can do is build our little peaks. So we can set it down in the broth and have it stand up nicely. Start soaking up a little bit. What do you think?
That is stunning.
Nice, awesome.
I'm so excited. It's so amazing to me that we can take such simple ingredients and create something so complex in flavor. And I mean, just look at this. This is just absolutely beautiful.
I think that's one of the fun things about a braise is the fact that you can achieve so much almost literally in one pot.
Is it time to eat?
Time to dig in.
Let's do it.
Go.
I love how this dish is so hearty, but so bright with all the vegetables and then that lemon zest near the end. Just really lifts it.
Yeah, if we think about this stew versus that croquette, I mean, it's all the same elements, right, that we saw on the plate. We have the peas and the mushrooms, the braised meat, the sauce, except it's not just a bowl of a stew. We really kind of break it out and almost deconstruct it across the plate.
It's really stunning and really impressive. You create such amazing, flavorful dishes that aren't only pretty, but they are just packed with flavor and they taste wonderful too.
Thank you so much for saying so.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, and thank you to Chef Chris and Flagstaff House. Also, a special shout out to Union's Dish and Design. Keep watching for a behind-the-scenes look at the making of our aprons. If you want to make this dish, you can find the recipe on our website at chefinit.com. I'll see you next time on Chef in It.
I'm here at Union Stitch and Design, where I'm meeting with Melissa, who is making the aprons for our show. I can't wait to check them out. Melissa! Hi! Oh my goodness! I'm so excited to see some of the aprons and talk a little bit more about upcoming aprons.
So this is what we did last time.
I love. It's so
nice.
beautiful. I want to look at maybe a couple of additional colors.
Okay.
I'm wearing so many different types of shirts, and so just looking for a little bit of a variety. I was thinking maybe something like, this gold is really pretty.
I love that gold.
That'll look really nice in the kitchen.
Love this one. This is one of my favorite blues and it looks so nice.
This is super pretty. I think these are colors.
Yes.
Straps.
Yeah, maybe the gold with the navy.
And this looks really nice.
It does. It looks amazing.
You've been in business for 10 years, right?
Yep, this year is 10 years. When I started, I had a home sewing machine at my kitchen table. Then I did it out of my basement, and now I have a local sewing team that helps me, but I still do all the designing here, and I still make aprons every week.
So this is a considerable amount of work. The fact that you have to kind of roll or fold the fabric and do each side. This is a lengthy process.
It is. I have a really cool machine that cuts the pockets out for me. You want to see the two that are ready?
Yes, I do.
So we've got the burgundy and the gray that are finished.
Oh my God, Melissa, these look amazing. Oh, this looks classy.
The embroidery turned out beautiful. You can read the lettering really nicely.
Melissa, I'm super excited to wear these for the show. I think they're gonna look so beautiful. If you are interested in a really sweet apron such as this, Melissa's got you covered. Just visit her website at unionstitchanddesign.com.